Sometimes the hardest place to be in life is the place where you feel like you don't have enough. Not enough money, strength, enough time, not enough answers. You've prayed, you've waited, and still, nothing seems to change. And in those moments, it's easy to believe that your breakthrough is somewhere far away, somewhere out of reach, something you don't have yet. But what if God has already placed the beginning of your miracle right inside your life? In 2 Kings chapter 4, the prophet Elisha helps a widow in need. She understood desperation. Her husband was gone, and all that remained was debt. The kind of debt that doesn't just take your money but threatens your future. She must have felt like there were no answers. Because in those days, if you couldn't pay what you owed, creditors could take your children. And that's exactly where she found herself, alone and out of options. Watching the clock run out. She didn't need help next week. She needed a miracle right now. So she cried out. Not to a system or to people, but she cried out to God, and when the answer came, it didn't look like what she expected. There was no bag of gold. Instead, she was asked a question. What do you have in the house? And her answer almost sounds like something we've all said before. Nothing. Except a small jar of oil. Just a jar that was not enough to sell or fix her situation. Not enough to matter. Or so it seemed. But God doesn't see things the way we do. What looks small to us is never small in His hands. Then came the instruction, and it didn't make sense to her. Go. Borrow empty jars from your neighbors, not just a few. Imagine hearing that. You are already in need, and now you're being told to gather more empty space? But that's how faith works sometimes. God will often give you an instruction that doesn't match your situation or thinking pattern, so that your obedience can make room for His power. That's the key. Making room for His power and not our own. She was told to go inside and shut the door, and begin to pour. Now think about that moment inside the house. A quiet house and a small jar in her hands, and a command that required complete trust from her. No audience, no proof, and just obedience. And so, she obeyed and poured. And as the oil began to flow, something impossible happened. It didn't stop. She filled one jar, then another, then another. Every empty vessel became an opportunity for God to provide. As long as there was space, the oil kept flowing. Do you have space? Space for God? Then finally, there were no more jars left, and only then did the oil stop. And in that moment, everything changed for this woman and her family. What started as one small jar became more than enough to pay her debts and sustain her future. But don't miss this. The miracle didn't begin when the oil multiplied. It began the very moment when she chose to trust God with what she already had. And maybe that's exactly where you are right now. You've been asking God for more provision, more clarity, or more direction. But He may be asking you a different question. What do you have in your house? What do you have in your hand? What has He already placed in your life that you've overlooked? Is it a skill, an idea, an opportunity? Maybe a step of obedience you've been putting off? Because sometimes, the breakthrough you're waiting for is already within reach. It just needs to be placed in God's hands. And when you do that, when you trust Him and move in faith, when you obey even when it doesn't make sense, He will take what feels small and multiply it for you in ways you never imagined. So don't wait until everything looks perfect, or until you feel ready. Start with what you have and trust God with it. Make room for Him to work. Have faith and trust Him. This world will not provide the answers to your problems. God is the provider and the one that comes to your rescue. Trust Him, and He will come every time. If this encouraged you, leave a comment and subscribe for more faith-filled messages. Or Share this video with a friend. And remember to walk in faith today.